feel like after the success of Sound of Freedom, Angel Studios has been releasing more and more movies, and most of them are good. Homestead, however, I was slightly disappointed. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Homestead. So what's about? Pretty simple premise. A nuclear bomb goes off the coast of Los Angeles, and now a lot of people are going to Oakland, California in the mountains, and because there's a huge fortress. That fortress might be the wrong word, but we are there, and a lot of people want to go to this fortress in the town, friends, family, etc. But in this fortress, of course, you have him, family, special ops, other people in the community, family members, and etc. And now we're trying to figure out who's good, who's bad, and where is God in the equation. So the faith-based stuff in this one kind of bothered me a little bit just because the naivety of it. And what I mean by that is, if you read the Bible, it's pretty damn violent. And in this movie, they try to say, like, oh, all humans are good, good, good. But it's like, have you not seen what's, like, happening across, the border? And it's not just America. This is other countries, like Europe. And it's fascinating, like, what's happening in Europe and in America right now. And there's kind of a metaphor in this movie where they open the gates and let the refugees in, and all the refugees are going to be loving. The naivety. But, okay, when talking about this movie, what I did not know is this movie is kind of a stepping stone to a TV show that's going to come out. And it's an interesting aspect to do it because there's a lot of characters in this movie that you feel like, I'm going to say it's just like Wicked Part 1, where it's a little bit of sprinkles, but they don't give you enough to be like, where's this character going? Where's this character going? Because when looking at this film, like I said, you have the main guy owning the fortress, the wife, the daughter with a other person's heart. And you have the Special Forces family. They're both ex-military. And then we have a love interest with the daughter, their daughter, and then their son. Then they brought in a girl, which she has a mysterious past, and she can kind of predict the future. Then we have a lone wolf guy that was in the army. And then also we have friends coming in, like saying, hey, I could build a fireplace. And then family members, which one guy's not taking his meds. It's kind of weird that he's not taking his meds when he's in a huge tower in Los Angeles. Anyway, so there's a lot of characters, right? And some of them are interesting, some of them are not interesting. There is an interesting character arc of killing someone because you're trespassing. And I think that is where I'm getting a little bit of like mixed messaging with this movie because of we're in this nuclear time, right? Bomb went off, shit's going down. East Coast, West Coast, and there's still people kind of like lollygagging, like, oh, we are just going to go hunting right now, like, dude, which is kind of interesting. I say that, but then Civil War kind of discusses Alex Garland film about people kind of just not watching the news, so I might, dog on that, and might be the wrong thing to do. Also, there's a plot point about this city manager of Oakland, which, God, California just seems like a fucking shit show with Gavin Newsom. Let's ban gas cars by 2035. You really think Northern California could do that? Or Central California? Not everything is LA and San Francisco, Gavin Newsom. You're not going to be president. If you're president, the United States is fucked. Anyway, so when we were discussing California, because they do make fun of like Seattle, how it's always on fire, and California, the politics. But this politics is literally this guy's like, I want all of his rifles, all of his food. It's for the government. It's like, I thought California was sustainable. And so there's like little mixed message. There is messaging like that. And the police chief is like, yeah, we need to back away. But during that only firefight in the movie, the sound design was atrocious. It was bad. When we were that close to 50 cals, that close to these ARs, the sound needs to be popping. It sounds like they didn't really go to a firing range and shoot off some guns and get that sound effects because it should have been a lot louder. I was really disappointed with that. So I'll go to the final thing that I did not like about this movie, but I do think it's a well-shot movie. It looks fantastic. The cinematography is good. The look of the film. There's very, very little post-production in this film, and I really dug it. There are some good character arcs or dilemmas of, like, killing someone. What are you going to do? This guy, who's this main family man that is in charge of, like, the military, he just is a no bullshit type of person. You feel like something's going to happen. this girl that could kind of see the future, and you're like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued with this story arc. And there's other ones here and there where the story can go. So there is intriguing moments where you're like, okay, and they do kind of do a preview of what season 1 can become. And like I said, it seems like it's going to be a lot more action-packed in like each story arc and character, dilemmas. But with this movie trying to build it up, I wasn't the biggest fan. Okay, finally, the wife. The naivety of her just opening the gates is like, it's like someone gonna shank her and be like, oh, and you dead. I guess watching Carry On too, I have that like imagery of what could actually occur to some of these people. And I know she's quoting like, what would Jesus do, and God and faith and everything like that. Have you not seen Humanity, where you try to help people and it just gets shit rocked, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna help this person this guy is threatening to kill everyone. Let me make sure he stays away. Oh, fuck the victims, and the guy that's trying to help, he's the criminal. And we are doing that with all the DAs and things happening right now. And we're in a world where it's like, we are forgetting about the victims. And this movie, I'm going to say it goes that path, but that's all I could think about. And that might just be my glass half empty mentality of things that are happening in the world today, where people don't help. And the cops to arrest the good guys because it's easier to arrest the good guys than the bad guys, because you don't want to ruin the mob, or it's just there's a fewer good guys and there's a mob of the bad guys. So get rid of the good guys and make the people that hate the cops cheer for the cops, like fascists. I guess the anti-fascists are really the fucking fascists. So yeah, some people get mad that I get political in these movies, but this one kind of goes that route. Okay, maybe not that much, but there is little like character and radio contact in this movie that does do that. But overall, Homestead, I do think this is one of Angel Studios' weakest films. It might be their weakest films. When I'm thinking about Sound of Freedom, Sight, Faces of Death, or Angels of Death, I think that's what it's called. Then you have Bonheimer. You have a couple more out there. The one that came out about the orphanage in Texas. I want to say there's maybe one or two more. But yeah, this is the one that's kind of, I'm like, I can't, I'm struggling to get behind this movie. But like I said, it looked good, some character arcs, but I don't think this is the right way to do this movie leading up to the TV show. So Homestead will receive a 2 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 40%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics a 40% with 10 of them. No critic consensus. Oh, and that nuclear bomb going off in Los Angeles, there's no way that small boat could have done that. No freaking way. Anyway, 40%. Chase Lock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Bluetontopia. You Blue Tony, and stay watching for a great day. I'm going to Tate tomorrow, week from a month, and a year from every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. Yeah, I was disappointed.